The Paris 2024 Olympics opening ceremony, held on July 26th, ignited a firestorm of controversy that reverberated around the globe. What was meant to be a dazzling celebration quickly turned into a spectacle of outrage. The ceremony featured dancers dressed as headless Queen Marie Antoinettes, a provocative nod to France's tumultuous history. This shocking display, joined together with a portrayal of the Greek god Dionysus that many felt mocked Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper, left viewers outraged. The real question is, why did the depiction of Dionysus at the Olympics draw comparisons to The Last Supper? Social media erupted with accusations of satanic imagery and disrespect towards Christian values. One Twitter user said, "Dear normies, you're probably sat at home watching the French Olympics thinking what the actual POW is this? Well, it's just another conspiracy playing out in front of your very eyes." But the thing is, or as the Olympics Committee claimed, their intentions weren't to insult any religious beliefs. In fact, they wanted Olympics to be an inclusive space for everyone. Unfortunately, it wasn't taken that way. The backlash was swift and fierce, with Christian communities and French bishops were on the front rows condemning the ceremony as an attack on Christianity. In the face of mounting criticism, Anne Descamps, spokeswoman for the Paris 2024 Olympics, issued a heartfelt apology stating, "Clearly there was never an intention to show disrespect to any religious group. If people have taken any offense, we are of course really, really sorry." According to the ceremony's artistic director, Thomas Jolly, his piece was never inspired by Da Vinci's 15th century piece. Instead, it was a heartwarming gesture to include the LGBTQIA+ in the Olympics, claiming his work has never intended to disintegrate anyone's beliefs. Regardless, let's take a deeper look in the allegedly Last Supper-inspired Olympic ceremony. In the scene from the opening ceremony, a dinner platter dramatically lifted to reveal a nearly nude Philippe Catherine singing in French. Behind him, dancers and drag queens struck bold poses along a long table, creating a striking tableau. The camera panned through the scene, first capturing a figure crowned with an aureole at DJ turntables, then moving along the table lined with performers holding their poses. The table then transformed into a catwalk, with drag queens and models strutting in homage to Paris's iconic fashion scene. The official X account for the Olympic Games shared photos of this moment, referencing Dionysus, the Greek god of winemaking, fruitfulness, and ecstasy. The interpretation of the Greek god Dionysus makes us aware of the absurdity of violence between human beings. However, some viewers drew comparisons between this tableau and Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper, where Jesus Christ shares a final meal with his apostles before the crucifixion. This connection sparked further controversy, with critics accusing the ceremony of mocking a sacred Christian scene. The controversy took another dramatic turn when Slovakian Deputy Prime Minister Tomáš Taraba announced his decision to boycott the closing ceremony. In a fiery statement on his personal Facebook account, Taraba expressed his profound dissatisfaction with the opening ceremony, which he described as a symbol of abomination. "I was supposed to represent Slovakia at the closing ceremony," Taraba wrote. "But for the normal world, these Olympics will forever remain a symbol of abomination, which abuses the beauty of sports and turns it into progressive political theater. That is why I decided not to participate in the closing ceremony." To add fuel to the fire, there were depictions of a bisexual threesome in the ceremony as well, for those who've missed it. Oh boy. This provocative segment depicting an interracial threesome does seem a little too much. This controversial scene ended with the happy throuple slamming the door in the audience's faces before implying they were about to engage in intimate activities. Not only was this ceremony relatively R-rated, this bold artistic choice sparked a frenzy online, with many questioning the appropriateness of such content in a global sporting event. Only 3% of the population comes under LGBTQIA+, but it seemed like the ceremony was revolving around catering to that 3%, instead of focusing on the actual intention behind the Olympics. Some people even claimed it was mass indoctrination and grooming, making Olympics lose its sovereign meaning. Moving on to another rather controversial setting of the Olympics, the appearance of the pale horse. In one of the most dramatic acts of the Paris 2024 Olympics opening ceremony, A rider on a pale horse paraded along the River Seine, capturing the attention of spectators both at the event and around the world. This striking image quickly went viral, with one user on X posting a picture of the rider and associating it with death itself, drawing a chilling parallel to the biblical book of Revelation. Take a look for yourself. The performer, dressed as a gendarmerie officer, rode a mechanical horse while carrying the Olympic flag. The horsewoman's cape, emblazoned with the flag of the International Olympic Committee, IOC, fluttered in the breeze as she made her way down the parade route. The scene was both mesmerizing and unsettling, evoking powerful imagery from religious texts. To summarize it all, a user shared a short clip of the rider on X, writing, "If you have any doubt what is going on at the Olympics opening ceremony, a single rider on a pale horse is straight out of the book of Revelation," and quoted the verse, "And I looked, and behold a pale horse, and the name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth." The symbolism of the pale horse is deeply rooted in literature and the Bible, where it is often associated with death. The verse from Revelation describes a pale horse whose rider is named Death, followed by Hades, the god of the underworld. They are granted power over a quarter of the earth to bring death through war, famine, and disease. This imagery represents the culmination of a destructive cycle initiated by the previous horses: the white horse of conquest and deceit, the red horse of war, and the black horse of economic disparity and manipulation. The pale horse symbolizes the ultimate consequence of a society engulfed in imperialism, militarism, and exploitation, leading to widespread death and decay. The inclusion of this powerful and controversial symbol in the opening ceremony has only added to the intense debate surrounding the Paris 2024 Olympics. And there's no French cliché without mentioning Marie Antoinette, right? In an interview with British Vogue leading up to the Paris Olympics opening ceremony, artistic director Thomas Jolly described the event as a celebration of being alive. However, he managed to deliver a rather morbid and extremely metal production that paid a bloody tribute to the historically infamous Marie Antoinette, and that too headless, no less. Jolly wanted to play with and challenge French clichés, and he certainly succeeded. The opening featured what Vulture aptly described as a full musical, metal opera Cameron Mackintosh mashup tribute to the guillotine. This segment included decapitated faces painted clown white singing the French revolutionary song Ça ira, alongside the heavy metal band Gojira, the first metal band to ever perform at the Olympic Games, during the Liberté portion of the ceremony. The headless figures of the 18th century Queen Marie Antoinette performed along the Seine River embankment, right outside the Conciergerie, where the Queen was held captive during the French Revolution. This striking performance even inspired CNN's Jake Tapper to tweet humorously, "Headless Marie Antoinette is brat," in a widely shared post. Lastly, the question remains. The Paris 2024 Olympics have indeed sparked a heated debate about inclusivity and hypocrisy. On one hand, the event aims to celebrate diversity and unity, bringing together athletes from around the world. On the other hand, the French government's decision to ban the hijab for Muslim female athletes quite openly contradicts this inclusive spirit. This ban has been criticized as discriminatory and exclusionary, highlighting a significant tension between the ideals of inclusivity and the realities of policy decisions. The opening ceremony further fueled controversy with elements perceived as satanic and disrespectful to the Christian faith. These artistic choices have provoked intense debates about spiritual warfare, secularism, and materialism. Critics argue that while the ceremony aimed to be inclusive and celebratory, it ended up alienating and offending certain religious groups, in essence undermining its own message of unity. We all know that the Olympics have always been intertwined with political and social issues. For instance, South Africa was banned from the Olympics from 1964 to 1988 due to its apartheid policies. Similarly, the current bans on Russia and Belarus are in response to the conflict in Ukraine. reflecting the complex political landscape that these games have to work around. Despite these controversies, the Olympics still remains a platform for showcasing athletic excellence across a wide range of sports, from high-profile events like basketball to less commercialized disciplines like judo. However, the imagery and symbolism used in the event have stirred further debate, with some claiming it undermines religious values and promotes nihilism and selfishness. The tension between inclusivity and exclusion, celebration and offense, highlights the challenges of hosting a global event that aims to be all-encompassing. It raises important questions about how to balance artistic expression with cultural sensitivity, and how to ensure that the spirit of inclusivity truly extends to all participants and viewers.